How do you manage envy?
How do I manage envy? Oh, this is a tough one for me. I'm rarely envious.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. There was just
But-
something about you, I could tell.
But I remember I've been cast in Dune. It's a lead role in a huge movie, and I meet Sting. I wanted that guy's life.
I'm Rachel Martin, and this is Wildcard, the game where cards control the conversation. Each week, my guest answers questions about their life. Questions pulled from a deck of cards. They're allowed to skip one question and to flip one question back on me. My guest this week is Kyle MacLachlan.
And I fortunately found something that I was good at, and that was being on stage.
There are some performers who transcend the cultural era that made them famous. It's like they exist out of time, always able to find a toehold into the current zeitgeist. That is Kyle MacLachlan. His first big role came in 1984 in the original Dune film directed by David Lynch. Lynch then took Kyle under his wing and cast him in the cult classic Blue Velvet. Eventually, he cast him as Agent Dale Cooper in the show Twin Peaks. That would have been a good run for any actor, but then Kyle did a complete 180 and became Trey McDougal in Sex and the City. And he kept reinventing himself, popping up in Portlandia and Fallout and his most recent show, Overcompensating. Plus, he has a massive following on Instagram and TikTok. Kyle MacLachlan is everywhere. But I got to meet up with him in Seattle, Washington for a live taping of our show put on by NPR member station KUOW. Kyle is from Yakima, Washington. I went to college outside of Seattle, so there was much to say and a good time was had by all.
All right, here we go. First three cards.
First three cards. Okay, so I pick a card.
You pick one.
Any card.
1, 2, or 3.
Oh, let's start with 3.
3.
Skip.
No.
I'm not worried.
I see how
I'm
this
not
is going to go
worried.
down, MacLachlan.
Okay, I'm ready.
I see you. Okay, this is so easy. What activity gave you a sense of freedom as a child?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had one of the coolest bikes when I was a little kid.
Tell me about it.
It was
It's here for bikes.
It was a gold Stingray with a banana seat. Yeah. And it was like, well, as a kid, that's your freedom right there.
Yeah.
And especially like when you were riding it, kind of dusky night, something. Because it's beautiful in Eastern Washington because at night it cools down. But just riding in that air, you know, the sound of a rainbird sprinkler at night, you know, it's just like, whoa, I'm right back there. And so that would be
That's a good one.
a real sense of freedom. Yeah, that was good.
There's not to be like back in my day, but yeah, not having a phone
Back
or a
in
device.
Your day, you're like, how old are you? For God's sake.
51.
51. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I still got you beat by a lot.
Okay.
I'm on a roll.
Okay. Next 3 cards.
Oh, next 3 cards.
One-
Okay.
1, 2, or
so these
3.
are not the original.
These are 3 new cards.
3 new
3 new cards. Anything could
Okay.
happen. I don't know. It's going to get crazy.
Okay, 2.
2.
A little nervous.
What have you learned to appreciate about your hometown over time?
Oh my God. My hometown of Yakima.
This gets to be your love letter to Yakima, Kyle.
Oh boy,
Give it to
here we
me.
go. How much time do we have?
I mean,
Okay. You know, it was really a beautiful place to grow up, which of course you're not aware of when you're growing up. But looking back, it was all those things people talk about. You know, it was safe. We would be out until nightfall. My dad would whistle from the front porch. He had a very distinct whistle, which is so annoying, but was what we had to respond to. We'd come home. It was, you know, it was growing up in nature.
yeah.
Like you could kind of drift out a little further than maybe you were supposed to, but you always knew you could come back home, you know. So there was a little bit of, it's not danger, but it was like kind of like exploration.
There were orchards there, right?
Yeah, where we lived was an orchard that they cut down the orchard, but they left a couple of trees which were in our backyard. And my dad, he was like, he's already hard to take care of these trees, and then he planted more trees. He wanted more, so he was always, he's gardening and growing. He really, really he loved taking care of things.
Do you still go back there?
When
was the last time you were back there?
I'll drive by. Yeah. I'll drive past the old house.
When you stop, I imagine you get like swarmed or whatever happens in Yakima.
No
Probably
bees.
not swarming.
There's no bees in Yakima. There's no swarming. No. I just go through. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And it hasn't, it's changed when I go back and I go through. It's changed, but I go back for the memories, you know what I mean? It's like I don't see the new stuff. I see the things that I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a strange, it happens. A strange thing as you get older. You go back and you start revisiting, and you realize your life is, gone through and had crazy, amazing experiences and stuff. But you go, no, I'm still kind of that little kid that grew up in Yakima, having fun with my friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, last one in this round. 1, 2, or 3.
Okay, I'm going to go to number 1.
1. Okay. What period of your life do you often daydream about?
I don't really daydream of the old. I think
Yeah,
of
no, it doesn't
the
have to
new.
be.
Yeah, I think of the future.
Yeah.
I daydream of the future.
You daydream about the future?
Yeah, what's coming, what I'm going to do next, what's going to happen.
Is that what preoccupies you?
It's
When you're
some-
wandering,
yeah.
when you're letting your mind
Yeah. And also, I think because I have a son now, so part of that is also, I lie a little bit. So I do go back because of watching him grow,
Yeah.
and I'm remembering what it was like when I was that age, and what we went through, and what it's like for him now, what his experiences are, what he's
especially
learning.
He's about to leave the nest.
Yeah, he's a junior, and we have only one, and I'm very blessed to have one, and he's a great kid, and he's on a journey, and I see him. I see the struggle, and I see the kind of bravura, of that, and at the same time, which kids do, so because they don't want the parents to really know that they're actually, help. So I know that. I'm like, okay, so we have, our little conversations, but he's so much further than I was at that age. Oh, God.
What do you mean?
Well, he's just so much more mature, and he's what he's going through, and his awareness of the world is greater. I came from a pretty sheltered environment, and which is fine. It was great. It was a nice way to grow up. But I see him. The awareness is there, and yet at the same time, I see how he. They need to turn the brain off sometimes and be kids again, and I see him, he's still drawn to some of the stuff that he loved when he was younger, as a way to it's a soothing, in the midst of, what's coming at him right now. Yeah.
But I'm going to direct.
I don't know where we got off on that. But anyway, there we were. We found ourselves down the road.
You daydream about the future, where does your mind land? What does that mean?
I mean, you think about things you want to do, really. Like, I'd like to live in Europe for a short period of time.
You're
That would
just
be really
planning.
fun.
You're just a planner.
Well, I'm just dreaming about what that might be like. Maybe I'm a planner. You might be right. Maybe I'm more of a planner. I still think I can play volleyball on the beach. I can't.
Round 2, insights.
Okay, I'll start from the other side now. I'm going to go to 1.
Okay, 1, right here. What do you find most difficult to model for the children in your life?
I think the idea that he's going to be okay, things are going to be fine.
Right.
because as a parent, you become very anxious. You can become very anxious because you know what's coming. And so you have to have patience. I'm pretty good with patience, but there's also a wisdom that I don't, like my wife is really good at this. She can say something and kind of put it in perspective, and he gets it, and it's like, oh, okay, thank you. And I'm kind of like, yeah, what she said, perfect. So it's a little bit of that, which is good because it's nice to have a partner in this because we have different strengths.
But I think what you said is really insightful, because as parents, we have the long view of the things that happen and the heartbreaks that happen.
Yeah.
It's like we've got our like parenting wisdom, but you can't like throw it all in their face.
Not all at once.
It has to be like deployed as appropriate when they get to that certain mountain.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time with that. I just want to, let me just tell you all the bad things that are going to happen. Let's just prepare now.
It's like hiding the medicine in some sugars. Like you're gonna get a little. This is good.
Right.
But at the same time, you're like, no. They have to figure it out. And that's where I'm better than my wife is. She's like, she'll take that right away. I'll take that pain. I'm like, no. You got to let them. They got to go through stuff.
Yeah.
You know. And then then you just sort of say, here, let me just give you like a little signpost.
Yeah, a signpost.
And just say, okay. You know, give them like, whoop, you know, just say, get over here. Your watch, did they adjust? Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I'd listen to your parenting podcast.
I'm thinking of doing a podcast, you know.
I think you'd be great.
I think we'd have fun.
You would have fun.
We'd have treats.
Treats?
Sure, gotta have treats.
Black
Why
coffee?
not? Like coffee? Absolutely.
3 new cards.
Okay.
1, 2, or 3.
I don't even know what number I'm at. Let's go 2 again.
How do you manage envy?
How do I manage envy? Oh, this is a tough one for me. I'm rarely envious.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. There was
But-
just something about you, I could tell. Really?
But, yes. I just try to be a good person. I try to be generous. I am. That's what I do. I just, I said, good for you. It's sort of a gratitude sort of thing.
I mean,
I
God,
start with
are
that.
you that perfect?
No,
I think you might be.
no. I don't say it succeeds.
Oh.
But that's where I try to come from, you know?
Yeah.
I remember I've been cast in Dune, right? I'm in Mexico City. It's a lead role in a huge movie out of school. And I'm like, and I meet Sting, who's also in the movie. I wanted that guy's life. And I had a pretty darn good life going, and I was like, damn. He's going on tour. He was going on the Synchronicity tour. He got to travel the world in a band and like play music and just be cool.
You were envious of Sting.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Then my wife told me she went to see the movie not because of me, because of Sting.
I mean, yeah.
I still tease her to this day. She had no idea who I was, but Sting. I mean, it was Sting. I'll never be as cool as Sting.
Out of the goodness of your heart, you were pleased for Sting and his many successes.
I was sort of pleased for Sting. Yeah. No, he's a great guy. We had fun together. Yeah, he's a good person. Good person.
I mean, he did do this one album. It was kind of like on a mandolin. I don't think it was that good.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a lot better.
He's not perfect.
Thank you.
Take that, Sting. Okay.
That's my admittance.
1,
Deep dark
2,
secret.
3.
Okay, 3.
How big of a role does fear have in your life?
Oh, it's pretty big.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I totally thought you were going to be like, I am not afraid of anything.
I'm not afraid. Fear is the mind killer. Fear. What? I had to. She made me. You can't set me up like that and not, no. I'm going to spike it every time. That's from Dune.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry, unless Sting said it, I don't know. I don't know.
I hate you.
But now
Oh my.
I'm plumbing deeper into your
Yes.
But really,
No, I was a fearful
really?
kid.
were you? Of what?
Yeah, just kind of everything, honestly. Yeah, I was very shy as a kid, and I felt very vulnerable, and there were kids in my neighborhood and kids at school kind of bully kids, and I was really scared, and I was just,
Did anything actually happen, or was it
no,
just
no, no, just inside.
the potential?
Yeah. In high school, you sort of transition through things. You do things to counter the things that that you don't like. So that said, okay, you're now going to be the comedian and try to make people laugh, and I fortunately found something that I was good at, and that was being on stage. But it allowed me to have something that gave me a little more confidence, a little more courage.
What are you fearful about now?
Oh, death. It's all.
I mean,
Not really. No. See, that's me trying to be funny.
That's the next round.
No, it is. That's the lightning round. I think it's it's harm coming to people that I care about.
Yeah.
That's something that I worry about, or fearful about.
Beliefs.
Beliefs.
Last round. Beliefs. Do everyone's stopping?
Okay.
Okay. The cards are red.
Okay.
It's a warm red. I think it's inviting.
It is. It's
not
kind of an
meant to
orangey
be-
red.
Yeah.
Actually.
1,
okay.
2, or 3.
We're gonna go in the middle. We're gonna go 2. We're gonna go 2.
Does the idea of an infinite universe excite or scare you?
Ooh, I love it.
You love it so much.
I do.
Really?
I do. It's because it's just not. There's no way to comprehend it. There's no way to. It's just going. You know what I mean?
It's very unsettling for some people.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
You like it.
I like it. What did I see recently? A picture from Mars, and it was a picture of the night sky, and it was unbelievable. Like there are more stars than there were darkness of night, and you realize, whoa, this is a big place. I love it.
Yeah. It's cool, right?
Yeah,
I like it too.
It makes me happy.
It's like the thing that puts all the other stuff into perspective.
Yeah. And at the same time, it really makes you go, we better keep it together because we are one little teeny tiny piece of that. We really are in this together. I mean, that's the thing. There has to be a coming together of some kind. So I'm hopeful for that.
3 more. 1, 2, or 3.
3.
3.
Yep. Big
This
number.
is just the Mamba Jamba. How often do you think about death? I told you I am a good time at parties.
Not that often, but when I do, it can be kind of crushing. Because I don't really know what to make of it. I know it stops. Well, but I'm sort of hopeful that there's other things that continue on. And then I'm like, well, we'll never know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And some people talk about, which I'm trying to sort of absorb the idea that I'm about to embark on another journey, and I'm actually looking forward to what that experience is going to be because I've never had that experience, So
Right.
I'm going to try to embrace that. I don't know if I'll get there with that idea, but
I know.
But I sort of like the idea of the idea, if you know what I mean.
I know. So how have you, from a parenting point of view, did you remember him asking you about what happens when you die?
No, Callum is, you know, we're pretty honest. We would say we just, we don't
We don't know. Right. I know.
And
For me,
no, there's no sugarcoating or anything. She's like, this is what it is. We don't know, but we're going to find out, and and then I'll tell you. What the hell? I'm gonna come back and haunt you. That's what I'm gonna do. Think about that. Do you have a ghost stories or anything like that? Do you have a relationship to any kind of that?
My God, are you kidding me? I'm so into ghosts.
Interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want them to be here. I'm into the idea of them.
Yeah.
But I think right after a person dies, I actually feel them around. I don't know if this has happened to any of you, but there's a period of time where it feels really like they're really around.
Yeah.
And you get these little signs, and they can be dismissed as coincidences, synchronicities, sure, or they're like around.
I think so. And here's a weird thing. So my mom passed on January 11th in '86. And it's like, okay. And not too long ago, every once in a while I would see the numbers 111. They would come up, like on a clock or somewhere, and I was like, and it just occurred to me. And then, like in the past couple years, it's like almost daily. It's so weird. And so I go, oh, hey, Mom. It's like this weird thing where I'm like, and I don't think it means like something imminent or anything like that. I'm just saying, oh, no, I'm remembering her, and this is reminding me. And I don't know if there's any kind of a connection or whatever, but
it's nice to decide that there is.
And I get to think of her. I'm like, oh, hey, Mom. That's nice. You know what I mean? It's a nice thing.
Yeah.
It's not a scary thing.
My mom was really into seagulls, which is weird. It's a weird bird to be into.
It's a weird bird. Yeah, it is a weird bird.
They're kind of
annoying.
garbage-eating birds.
Yeah.
Eagles, osprey. There were so many other birds she could have chosen.
Yeah.
But the seagull, I think it's because she was from Idaho and she was landlocked, and every time she went to the ocean, she just thought that they were like so magical to her,
Yes.
But so now, when I see a seagull, especially a random seagull, like a city seagull, you're like, what are you even doing here,
That's
city
rare.
seagull?
It's rare.
But I'm just like, hi, Mom.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a nice thing.
It's a nice thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's good.
last one.
Oh, crazy. One. It's the loneliest. No, I'm just kidding.
We haven't even talked about your singing.
No, we're not going to talk about my singing.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like you answered this a bunch of times.
Have you been shuffling the cards and they're coming up
No.
again?
Okay, I'm just staying true. Staying true.
Okay.
When do you think about your smallness in the universe?
Right now, I do.
I actually think that is the best answer because I think it's a lovely default setting, actually.
Yeah. I
Is there something
sort of
specific?
think it's so funny because what I work in front of a camera, now for the most part. Sometimes on stage, rarely on stage, but in front of a camera. And in front of a camera, I think the strength is in the smallest details. And I had an amazing lesson in the Twin Peaks Return when I played the character of Dougie, which is a wonderful, crazy.
The Dougie.
But I bring him up because it was really just an exercise in the courage of being present and small. And it was really hard because you want to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I just said, nope, you're not doing anything. And there's something about that smallness, that quietness that is it's almost like a meditation, I guess. You just sort of puts you in a place and you can, okay, I'm back to center. Yeah, it centers you, I think.
Yeah. Anyone who's listened to the show knows that we end it the same way
With
every
cake?
time with cake and coffee. No,
Yeah.
not with cake and coffee.
Not cake and coffee.
With
Okay.
a trip in our memory time machine.
Oh my God, okay.
Which is just me going like this.
I like it.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. But it's kind of cool. Okay, so here's the memory time machine.
Okay.
You choose one moment from your past.
From my past. Okay.
It is not a moment you would change anything about. It is just a moment you would like to linger in a little longer. Which moment do you choose?
Well, if I go way back, there's a few that are popping up. They're like little mushrooms. It's not, I mean, it's when Callum was born, right? So he's a little kid. He's a baby. And when he would wake up in the morning, because we had one of those little baby monitors, he would say, when the light was up, daytime, he would do a little sing-song thing, daytime, daytime. And there was no urgency to it, just like, but I knew he was awake. So I would get out of bed, and I'm a super light sleeper, and I would walk up to his room, just a few steps in the door. He'd be in his crib, standing there, and I would pull him out of his crib, and we would walk over to the door. He had like a door in his little room that was a Dutch door, right? Open the top. So I'd open the top, and we would sit kind of, I'd sort of hold him like this, and we kind of look out the door, and it looked out onto this little bit of a, not a very big, but a little hill full of, there were always flowers and stuff. And we would just sit there, and we just like, oh, and you see the red bougainvillea, and he'd be looking at this, and then it'd be like a bird would go by, or we hear a car or something, and we just would sit there, not long, maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and he was just this new little thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I look at it, he's 6'4" now. I mean, it's like, and but I love the idea. You remember those things as parents, and he's like, whatever, Dad. He doesn't, he doesn't care. But I'm like, that was a really, if I could sit with him like that, that'd be very nice.
Kyle MacLachlan.
If you want more from Kyle MacLachlan, keep an eye on your feed this weekend. We'll have a bonus episode where you'll hear Kyle reflect on his friendship with his longtime collaborator, David Lynch, who died earlier this year. Next week on Wildcard, a big one, we talk with former First Lady Michelle Obama, who tells me she finally feels like she is allowed to just be herself.
I don't know if my ambition has ever fully been able to actualize itself because of the nature of what me and my husband have done. I mean, it was the team ambition, and I went along arguably kicking and screaming, right?
This episode was produced by Ramel Wood with help from Lee Hale. It was edited by Dave Blanchard and mastered by Patrick Murray and Kwesi Lee. The audio engineer was Hans Twite. Wildcard's executive producer is Yolanda Sangweni, and our theme music is by Ramteen Arablui. Special thanks to Charlotte Duran and everyone at KUOW. You can reach out to us at wildcard@npr.org, and we're going to shuffle the deck and be back with more next week. Talk to you then.